Hello, fellow passages and Farganitals. My name is Alex Tyler. Welcome to Ace Combat Reviews. And today I'm going to be doing something I've been wanting to do for a while. Reviewing some of the favorite planes of the series, but also some of my favorite planes in real life. The A-18 and the MiG-31. I have to be honest, everyone knows the FA-18. You see this thing and you know, oh yeah, that's a Super Hornet. Yeah, that's the thing that just is really famous from movies like Independence Day and things like that. Not really many people know that are not military nuts about the MiG-31. And both of these planes are very, very good. Do not get me wrong on that. Today we're going to be going over the similarities, and that's why I'm reviewing them both. Because in real life, I think they're built on the same plans. Like, in real life, they're basically the answer to each other. I think both of them were bought from Lockheed, and then basically, like, the Russian got their versions, and we got this, basically, from the same idea, basically. And because of that, this is where the weirdness comes in, where I guess you could describe the MiG-31 as a sledgehammer. Well, this is a Swiss Army knife, more focused on the knife part. It is a surgical tool that can do many things. It can cut, it can go in and dogfight, it can also just not really be this unreliable weapon that you just know is not going to kill things. By that I mean this. It has really good weapons on it. The QAAM is still one of the best missiles in the entire game, for the reason that it does really good things. Because of that, it's reliable. It is just one of the best missiles in the entire game. But in here, you're going to see me using the LASM, the long-range ship missile. And this is where I say that this is playing to its part, which is going in, being a strike attacker, and just destroying targets as fast as possible. Making sure that you are doing enough damage and then getting out. It is not really meant to do the damage that, let's say, like a F-22, an XO2, a CFA is supposed to do, even other planes that are meant to do its role. This is a multi-role plane at the most basic level. It is the go-between, which is between mid and low tier. This is in between those two levels, I'd say, where you are still in the level where you feel like you really can't compete against a F-22 unless you're a good pilot, unless you have the right parts on it. Just stock FA-18 versus like a F-22 or even above that, this thing will get blown out of the water. Because, yes, it depends on the pilot. Yes, it depends on the parts that you use. But at the same time, you're dealing with something that is weaker than it technically. Because of this reason, you have to know that you are dealing with something that you know you have to be careful with. And for that reason, you have to baby this plane a little bit. Like anything that is low tier, you have to know your place. And yes, you can punch above your weight with it as much as you want, as you're going to see later in the multiplayer part of the video for this, where you'll see me take on things that I'm not supposed to be beating. I'm taking on things that I know I can beat, I know I can defeat, because this thing lives up to the one word, which is meant to be why it's still used today in real life for the US military. This thing is reliable. This thing is one of the most used planes still in the world. It is looked at as, I guess you could say, the Swiss Army knife of America, where it can go in and just make something for itself. It's the Blue Angel plane. It's the Navy standard, I believe, still. It's basically this vehicle that you know is going to be good because it's reliable. That is the one word that describes this plane. It's reliable. Because of the weapons on it, because of how it handles, because of the parts that you can put on it. And you can even make this all the way up to, you could argue that with the right parts, you can make this all the way up to, let's say, I'd say high tier even maybe, because of how it handles, because of how it plays. And you're going to see me comparing it to the MiG-31 because, yes, both of them can stall maneuver. Yes, both of them are very good. Yes, both of them have about the same kind of maneuverability, and they're built around the same idea, I guess you could say. I'm not familiar with it too much in real life, but I know that they are very similar, and they're based around the same concept, which is this attacking Navy plane that is not meant for long distance. Yes, this is a video game, so you can fly with it. You can fly with it as much as you want. Sure, fine. But at the end of the day, you look at this vehicle and you say, "Yes, I know I can. I know I can beat the game with it. I know I can beat the Su-30s coming up later in this level. I know I can fight in multiplayer with it and win." And anyone can say that this thing is good, yes. But here comes the but. This vehicle has shortcomings. Where it comes with shortcomings is especially with the amount of weapons it has. As you could see, the LASMs are not that good of a weapon because they're meant for ships, but also stationary targets like this. Even then, they still miss because they're not meant for close range. They're a, quote, long-range missile, which sucks. You need to equip like some other things to it to make it work, which is dumb, but hey, whatever. What else? The QAM is amazing. Without the added weight bonus that gives you extra missiles, you get only 10 of them, which is good, but you have to use it sparingly. Because of this reason, you have to pick your timing very carefully when using this weapon. You have to know that you're going to be either defeating things or you're going to be using it when you had the right moment to strike. Pick your time carefully when using the A-18. This is not meant to be this destructive force like the CFA or other weapons systems like the XO2, which is just destructive monster of the railgun or other things of that nature. This thing is a multi-role in the truest sense, like I said. And because of this reason, I'm going to let you guys watch the rest of the video and enjoy the fun. I'm going to be switching over to QAM here, and you're going to see exactly what I mean in the PvP part of the video. So enjoy the rest of this clip and the one coming up, and I'll get back to you once the MiG-31 comes up. Anyway, enjoy.
This is AWACS Windmaker. We have you on radar. Enemy detected. Cleared to engage. Take down as many as you can. Your call sign is Delta 1. There are thunderclouds in the area of operations. Watch out for lightning. Delta 1, missile fired. Missile in the air. Chaff and flares deployed. Delta 1, out. Delta 1, missile fired. Careful, enemy locked on. You got an enemy ace. Locked on. Miss. That's a miss. Missile hit. incoming! Careful, enemy locked onto you. Delta 1, locked on. Special weaponry low. Fox 2. Locked on. Enemy locked on. Delta 1, missile! Delta 1, out! Careful, enemy locked onto you. Missile fired. Enemy to your rear. Missile in the air. In gun range. Top rank. Enemy locked on. Special weaponry out. 1 minute remaining. Bandit on you! Chaff and flares deployed. Locked on. 30 seconds remaining. Missile closing, evade! Enemy locked on. 15 seconds. Combat time's up. The mission was a success. You won.
So here's the thing with the MiG-29 when you first look at it. You realize it's one of those vehicles that gets passed over a lot. It doesn't get talked a lot about. It's one of those things that when you first come to Ace Combat, you just climb up the ladder with. When you're not experienced enough, you don't know anything about it. You just see it as, oh look, the next tier up of the Russian planes. That's to the unexperienced eye. The experienced eye knows exactly what this is. This is a knife fighter that's supposed to go in hard and do a lot of damage. Especially in multiplayer because of one weapon and one weapon alone, the HPAA. Here you'll see me use it for AAM, which is just great for campaign or any multiplayer version of it, basically. It's maneuverable, it's reliable, it's a good vehicle for if you want to get in a lot of damage. Especially if you know what you're doing with it. By that reason and reason alone, you have to understand the strengths and weaknesses of it. You cannot just fly to a group of enemies and expect to kill them all. This is a vehicle that is meant to do a burst amount of damage and then get out. It is meant just to kill a target as fast as possible, and like many other Russian planes, it's an assassin. It's supposed to get behind, take cheeky shots at people behind you, and then just kill them instantly, which the HPAA can do with any plane in the game. It's good for that. It's built for that. And if you spec that missile out to have extra homing, if you have it for increased load, better lock-on time. If you build your plane around that, but also don't rely on it either, you're doing amazing with this vehicle. It's a league of its own where you start out to see this kind of play style with it, which leads up to the Su-57, the assassin type planes where you have to get in behind and just destroy stuff. It's not meant to dogfight for very long. It's not meant to go in and have a prolonged exposure and a high group of enemies. It's supposed to get in and get out, kill like 3 or 4 with the HPAA. And that's the thing with this. This is a, I guess you could say, not a sniper because that requires long range. This thing is not long range at all. I guess you could say a one-hit wonder, if that's the correct wording to say. What I'm trying to describe it as something that goes in, only needs one shot to do what it does, and then gets out. Because of this reason, if you know how to work with it, and you know how to play with it, it's probably one of the better vehicles in the game. But it cannot compete against the higher tiers just on its own, to an unexperienced person. It cannot just go in, expect to win, and get out like other vehicles can. It can't carry a match. You have to have a skilled hand. You have to have an ability to win the match. You have to know what you're doing with it. And because of that, this is still I guess you could say, experienced, a plane for experienced hands. You can't just expect to win with it. And a good example of that is, let's say, F-22. That thing, even unexperienced hands can win matches, because you're still going to get points no matter what. You know you're going to win somewhat with that plane. Here, you have to know what you're doing, which is, I wouldn't say a weakness, but a higher skill ceiling of the plane. Because of this reason, you have to treat it with respect. I compare it to the A-18 because of how they are maneuverable, how they came out in real life and around the same time. They're basically built on the same kind of idea, which is a short-range support fighter. And basically, if you know how to treat it correctly, they are really good for each other to fight against. As you saw in the FA-18 part of the video, you see that it's just really built well for that kind of role. And for that reason, I'm just going to let you guys enjoy the rest of the clip and see what I'm talking about. Anyway, my name is Alex Tyler. Enjoy the rest of the video and have a good day. Bye.
This is Mage 1. I have Mother Goose 1 in my sight. Cabin's fine, but the cockpit's not looking so good. Colonel Johnson, are you okay?
Don't worry about that. Just send help this way. I'm sorry. Get Mr. Harley. Please.
Mother Goose 1, respond. Mother Goose 1. Skykeeper, should we continue providing cover? Chaff and flares deployed. Romeo 1, locked on. Three minutes remaining. Romeo 1, Fox 2. Missile incoming! Careful, enemy locked onto you. Romeo 1, out! Locked on. Miss. That's a miss. Fox 2. In gun range. 2 minutes remaining. Romeo 1, locked on. Romeo 1, bandit down. Ranking improved. Keep it up. Missile closing, evade. Romeo 1, locked on.
Missile.
1 minute remaining.
Missile.
Target is in gun range.
Stall warning. Stall warning. Stall warning. Caution. Pull up.
Missile evaded. 30 seconds remaining. Locked on.
Missile.
Special weaponry running out. 15 seconds.
Missile.
Romeo 1, missile!
Missile. Missile.
Chaff and flares at 0.
Missile. Missile.
Combat time's up. You've still got a lot to learn.